hot mics, by the way. But you had like again, Corbin, B, Lay came out there, Josh Critton.
Oh, Josh was out there.
Yeah, he's been coming up pretty regularly.
I saw him at the parade in Eatonville.
Oh yeah. Josh could sprint to the from where they stay. And what's the guard name? He's really good. Oh, the one I was telling y'all about in the chat. Yeah, Lee was there. I was on Lee's team. We won like 4 in a row.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it was a really good run. What's his name? Jello's been coming lately too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they like Jello. Oh shit, I'm trying to.
He didn't make it to picture day in the final.
Yeah. They told him he was ineligible, so I guess he just said.
Oh, okay.
F it, yeah.
Oh, I'm sure. Okay, I didn't realize he got the "you're ineligible" message.
Yeah.
From the powers that be.
From the Sunshine State, the great state of Florida, and what does your Uncle Charlotte always say? The craziest people in America come from the Bronx and all of Florida. I'm Big Bubba crossing my black car. It's booby traps and pit bulls crossing my backyard. I'm still strapped, boy, these handguns on Vanguard. I like going against the grain cause my head hard. Bae, I used to thug hard to see this crack hard. I don't thug nothing but the motherfucking task force. Me and 2 Root running shit, we like the fat boys. Paid cash for it, so I try to and fast forward. I put it all in your face like you asked for. Most of you love frontin' like the dashboard. I get it chalked out like the blackboard. I got the ghetto off glass like the backboard. Most of my niggas ride till it ain't no gas for. We been outside like ain't no map for. Been outside like ain't no map for.
I swear to God, these motherfucking jets in Florida is different. Man, I was at this house the other night. Gave her the little son one melatonin, thinking this little motherfucker gonna go to sleep. Hell nah, the little motherfucker ain't go to sleep. I end up giving this little the whole goddamn bottle. He ate them all. It was up all motherfucking night.
I'm in all white ones. Picture could get me a Cy Young. We feel like nuns. No f***s giving like Spice One. We feel like bums. Don't change, then I might run. Feel like buns. Shit when the price jump. I got white bumps. These bags kill it price plump. You only die once. I know you a snake with a sliced tongue. I can't trust you, I'ma dust you. Ain't no checking temperature. It's f*** you, then it's f*** you. These laws I'm stuck to. You know how many 12-12s I run through? My get cut, but my girlfriends get cut loose. My get hit like kung fu. I love the streets, but they never told me I love you.
Yeah, I already know. I'm straight from Florida, G. You know, bottom of the motherfucking map. Home of motherfucking Uncle Luke. Home of Trick Daddy. Home of Kodak Black. Nothing but gold teeth, wigs, and motherfucking sticks. You already know. Bottom of the map. FLA. Shaped like a motherfucking Hezbollah. Have it, won't it? I ain't got no damn business at church. Cause all I be doing is looking at damn prints in that bitch. I'm talking about, man. You know how up it is? Like, you ever got hard in church before? Like, ain't that shit? You get hard in church when you in there, like, you know you wrong. You know you wrong, but...
Welcome back. You're back on the bench podcast with Bubba and Pink, home of sports, music, and mayhem. We're available on all podcast streaming platforms, including here on YouTube. Please like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. We got a new show for you guys today. A lot of stuff to talk about.
I don't think we could do an old show.
Got a lot of stuff to talk about,
Just
man.
retrace everything we said 4 weeks ago.
Sometimes it works for some people,
That'd be an amazing challenge to be able to replicate a show that's already been done.
Skip Bayless did a show for 20 years. He only talked about LeBron and Tom Brady.
1.5 milli skip.
Big money. All right, big trick. We're going to be talking about some Bronny James today. We're going to be talking about De'Aaron Fox maybe going to the Spurs. The Super Bowl is on the horizon. You got Cam Newton making some folks mad, being a chatty patty, and
Patty.
Trump continues. All right. Where do I want to start, man?
Take us where you want to go.
I know, right? Without saying any names. And we know what's interesting is because we talked about this. I feel like we talked about this about a year ago. And it's like, for all the, the rec league players across the United States and guys who just go hoop and play basketball at the parks, LA fitnesses, talking about these, grown men, adults who have love for the game and still want to play. And every once in a while, you get these guys who come out there and they want to fight. Right?
Oh, yeah, fight.
And
yeah, because I witnessed that fight a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, you talked about that one.
Yeah.
And for the life of me, I cannot understand how two grown men with children would want to fight, right? And then number two, there's just not any like positive outcomes that comes from it, because no matter how you look at it, if you fight a guy in a gym or a park and you beat him up, say you beat this guy up, best case scenario, you beat him up, it's cool. Okay, what kind of pride do you think that other guy has, right? Because if you beat this other guy up, he may go to the car and get a gun. Even if he doesn't do it then, you got to be on edge every time, you see him again. You guys play at the same park, at the same court.
Yeah,
What's going to happen the next time or the next time? Okay, that's the best case scenario, that he goes to the car and get a gun, or you just have to worry about it every time. But then what if the establishment or somebody else calls the police and then you go to jail over a silly fight?
Yeah.
Okay? Third, what if you fucking lose the fight? What if you get your ass whooped?
Yeah.
What if you get whooped in the fight, okay?
Then we have to find out what type of pride you have.
We have to find out what type of pride you have. Are you a very prideful person? Are you the one that's going to go to the car and get a gun and then go to jail for even longer? What is the positive outcome here?
Yeah.
If you just have to fight, I told the guy, I said, if you just have to fight a guy, there's two things we can do. If you just have to fight. Number one, you tell the guy, hey, let's go out here to Buffalo, Osteen. You don't need nobody else. We don't need no cameras. And
nah, that's never good.
And no, listen, and may the best man win, and whoever is not able to leave the place is not able to leave the whatever. That's it. If you just have to fight, and the second one is, if you just have to fight, let's go down. They still have a KKK headquarters, man. Let's go down there and whoop some ass. If you just have to fight, those are the only two options.
You're just saying you generally wake up with a need to fight. You're not actually mad at a particular person.
Yeah.
Just go to the Klan office and start swinging.
That's it.
I mean, I'm not against it.
I mean, what else is there to do?
Well, I mean, yeah. We were talking about Yellowstone earlier.
Yeah.
And they had a couple episodes where, kind of like the guy who runs the ranch, there was a rule of no fighting on the ranch. But if you wanted to fight, you had to fight the guy that runs the ranch, and he could fight.
Or not the person that you want to fight.
Yeah. If you get mad at somebody, you want to fight him, you fight the.
And he would fight.
Yeah.
Oh,
for sure. But one time though, the Kevin Costner's character John Dutton had it a different way. There was these two guys that had like an ongoing feud. And they got to swinging on each other in the bunkhouse. And so he's just like, hey, these guys want to fight. We're going to get the fight out of them. And they literally just put him in the horse thing, and they just fought until they couldn't fight no more. And they're just exhausted.
Yeah.
And after that, they kind of ended up making peace.
Yeah.
I don't like the Bithlo thing, because you go out to unknown territory. You don't know what's going on. Somebody could load up with a crew. Somebody could just bring the gun to the fight and end you. So I don't like that. But I could see, like, okay, y'all going to fight. We're going to stand here and watch you fight. You guys get it out of your system so we can move on. And the two guys fight until whenever.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Now, I mean, fighting in this adult is just not really, I mean, you nailed it. It's not a good move. I mean, if you're fighting in some sort of gym, chances are you're going to get kicked out and banned to that gym. Which, obviously if you're a hooper and now you're fighting, I mean, at some point hoop was the priority, and now you lose a place to play. The other thing is, and we all know this, like the hoop community is not that big. So, after a couple fights, like, what are we doing? Who's going to want you in any gym?
Yeah.
If you're the guy that's always fighting. You know, and again, you see these guys in the same leagues and whatever. So it's like, you know, you fight with a guy, you know, in this gym this week or whatever, and you got to play him next Thursday, at, you know, econ or whatever. Like, what's, you know, like, where does it end? You know, and that's always the thing. You know, I've always, you know, kind of been more of a murder guy than a fight guy, because it's like when you fight a guy, you always got to worry about, well, what, you know, how's he going to take that?
Yeah.
Does it end here, or do we have to keep fighting, you know, every time we see each other? Do I just have to, like you said, drive around, you know, pop up places concerned that this guy's going to jump out and fight in a situation, or, you know, where I'm not interested in fighting? It just really doesn't go anywhere. But, I mean, at the end of the day, like, fighting, you know, you mentioned pride, which is an element of it, but I think it's a little bit of false pride. It's really like a lack of emotional control that chooses, you know, that puts you in this situation where you get on a pathway toward fighting and can't find it. You know, you give yourself no outs.
Right.
You know, you get so mad, you say certain things, and now you know, if you can't back up the things you're saying, like, yeah, what are you? But it's that thing of not escalating.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happens when you get to a fight. You know, you're not at a, you know, most of these guys don't have like long-term eternal beef over stuff. They get mad in the moment, they say stuff, and then they feel obligated to back it up, and, you know, and not back out of it. But if you can't, as a grown person, you cannot put yourselves in situations where you're escalating things and not giving yourself a way out.
Yeah, that's facts. That's facts.
You know.
Now,
there's a lot of guys. I mean, like I was, you know, it's a lot of like special forces guys and things like guys that really handle themselves, and it's like, you know, they're not going to fight unless they have to.
Yeah.
They're going to always find the out, you know, unless they're literally in a combat situation. It's like there's nothing. And for the same reasons you said is, you know, you beat up a guy in a bar, you beat up a guy in a gym. Like, what's the outcome of that? You get banned, maybe you get arrested, especially if the fight goes badly, where maybe somebody ends up dying from a fist fight and it's not off the table. You know, it's happened. And
yeah, of course it's happened. I told you, yeah.
You're in a situation.
Yeah. My freshman year, you know, just seemingly a guy, you know, punched a guy. He died, man.
Yeah.
Died in my arms. It's all, you know what I mean? Now, yeah, the guy had a little blade, but nobody saw it. It just was a normal, regular fight that we were watching.
Yeah.
But you don't know what another person has on. Like I said, it was a little tiny blade that he can put in the middle of his fingers that nobody even saw.
Did you see the 30 for 30 on Benji Wilson?
No, but the Hooper you're talking about from back in the day.
Yeah. It was an amazing thing, and it was an extraordinary show because obviously Benji passed away as a result of the shooting there, but the killer was released from jail, and he was a part of the show, and so he was able to tell his story, his side of it, and, you know, he was, you know, a regular dude. He had, you know, some stuff in his family had gone wrong, and he was kind of in that, you know, teen years, rebellious spirit, kind of falling in with the wrong dudes. He was carrying a gun. And when you look at how that happened, you know, Benji was at the time the #1 high school prospect in the country. He was at a high school in Chicago. He had basically had some sort of like dispute with argument with a girlfriend. He's rolling off of campus. He's the big man in town. And he literally bumps into this guy.
Randomly.
Yeah. Like they bump shoulders. And like, you know, the easiest thing for both guys to do is, yo, my bad, I'm sorry, and keep it moving.
Yeah.
But both guys, because of the frame of their mind, Benji, the big man, just had an argument with the girl, probably frustrated. He feeling some kind of way. This other guy's kind of a young dude going through a lot of shit. He's got a gun on him, even though he's much smaller than Benji. He feels emboldened to step and speak to him in a certain way. They square off. Shots fired. Benji dies. For nothing. Like two guys that do not know each other at all.
Absolutely
bump into each other on complete accident on the sidewalk, and then you have a man dead.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that's nuts, man. That's completely nuts. I want to move to something else that is completely bonkers. I mean, just
more so than that.
I can't understand this for the life of me. So I'm a sicko in the head, right? I still watch 76ers games.
Okay.
And they were on national TV last night. Hey, I'm gonna catch it, you know. And it's the first quarter, and I'm watching this game. Maxey is doing well. The team is doing well. And J.J. Redick, out of the thin blue sky in the first quarter, throws Bronny James into the game. And I'm like, what is going on here? Is this 2038? Is that the year we're in right now? And he gets in the game, and Pink, I tell you, man, Bronny James has to be the worst basketball player in the NBA, and it's not even close. It's not even close. When you look at it over the course of his time in NBA minutes, he's shooting 0.6% from the field. He's shooting 0.0% from three. You got turnovers. He can't guard anybody. If you look at it from the 76ers side, Joel Embiid is out. Paul George is out. KJ Martin is out. We got like 6, 7 rotation guys that are out. So what does that mean? We got second rounders and undrafted guys out. Justin Edwards picked up off the street. I know he went to Kentucky, but nobody else wanted him. We undrafted. Bona, end of the second round. We got 4 or 5 of those guys on the court. But they are NBA players, and they, produce every game that they're in for us, okay? And then the Lakers throw out Bronny James just like a damn clown show. He's getting destroyed on defense. They tell me that's his elite skill. I have never seen him, do anything defensively that make me say, oh, man, he has a chance. He's too small, and he's too slow to stay in front of guards his size, okay? And then turnovers, like I said, it was a total crap show, man. Total crap show. And J.J. Redick, that's not a fireable offense, but that's on the list of things when it's time to fire him. That's going to be on the list. Like, yeah, hey, you gave Bronny James first quarter minutes. That's nuts. That's really nuts. Yeah. I mean, I was happy to see him out there.
Why?
I mean, I'm a 76ers fan, of course.
Yeah,
I'm like, yeah. This is gonna go well for me.
Yeah, I really don't have much to say about it. It's just a non-story. I mean, there's, I guess he's had a couple of decent G League games, and from there, who knows? But I mean, if you just look at it, I wasn't aware of the Lakers being that shorthanded that you would have to, move him up.
They weren't that shorthanded, man. They weren't that shorthanded.
So,
they weren't that shorthanded. There's no amount of shorthandedness in the league that would allow for that to happen. There just isn't any.
Yeah.
And like, I'm a LeBron stan too, man. I think LeBron is I'm in the camp that LeBron is better than Jordan and all of this good stuff. But that don't mean I have to inherit Bronny. And I think a lot of fans out there, they feel the need to inherit Bronny. And the fight for him. I have no idea. Like, I made a little post on Facebook, got people, and one of the first things they always say is, he's better than you. Is that the bar?
Yeah.
Like, is that?
Yeah, that's a weird bar to go to.
It can't be the bar.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, where else is he going to learn to play? Not on the NBA floor. Like, that's what the G League, overseas, and pro-ams are for, is to get better for that level of guy. You know what I mean? And you stay there. And he had a couple of games in the G League, but I mean, like Paul Reed was G League MVP. He's no longer on the roster. Yeah, take that for whatever you want to take, man. I don't know.
I mean, the best thing to do is just not pay attention to him. It's just like,
I had to that night. I'm watching my team on national TV.
Yeah, but
they're pulling all of our games off TVs, and and then I finally get one. I have to watch. Look at the champ, man. He's saying, JJ, it's not JJ's fault. He has to play him. People want to see what Bronny can do. Who wants to see what Bronny? We've seen what Bronny can do.
Yeah.
He can't do anything.
Yeah.
He hasn't done anything. He can't do anything. He's unable to.
No, if I'm coaching, it does something deep inside of me to play a guy I don't believe in. And that's just the way it is for me. So it's like if I don't believe in that guy that he can play, I mean I don't want to play him. I'll literally hate every minute that he's on the floor. Yeah, no, you feel like when you best was a 5-person game.
Yeah.
When you have somebody in the 5 that just you don't believe can play, like it's literally like playing with a hand behind your back.
Yeah.
Or hopping around on one foot. You're not really playing the game that you want to play. And that's extremely frustrating for me, and that's usually sufficient for me not to play certain people.
Yeah.
But again, it is the Lakers, and I don't know, is there a dynamic where JJ is being directed to play him?
Mm-hmm.
It's not unprecedented. I've talked to people, more so in the soccer side, and it's like, you'd be surprised, but like front offices and non-coaches, they do influence who gets to play sometimes. And it's bullshit, but it happens.
Right.
There's plenty of stories. I've talked to guys who've been in NBA camps or on NBA rosters for a period of time. And, again, it's their account, but they were maybe roasting a guy that was drafted and has some guaranteed money. And at the end of the day, they know they're not getting kept because there's guaranteed money in that other guy. And let's not forget, that was the big leverage point when Rich Paul had Bronny in the draft process, is they want a guaranteed deal.
Yeah.
So they have that incentive or that notion that, we have guaranteed money in this guy. He's going to have to do something, over a guy that they don't have that money to.
Well, yeah, that's a sucky situation for anybody that's a fan of the playoff contending Lakers team that they are. They're in the 5th or 6th seed. You keep throwing Bronny out there in the first quarter just to see what you have. You won't be in the 5th or 6th seed much longer, I'll tell you that
well,
much.
It'll be
not how tight that race is.
It'll be interesting to see, like, okay, he didn't perform the other day. Does he go on the shelf for the G League for a while? He has
to.
Or is he going to be back out at the next game getting some minutes?
Yeah. At the end of the fourth quarter when you're up 30 or down 30, that's fine. Throw him out there then. If that's what you make.
Which does go to the notion that there was a plan to play him, whether it's JJ's plan or somebody above him.
You mean like even prior to the season?
Prior to the other night, like going into that game.
Oh yeah. First quarter, that was a plan.
You're going into the first quarter. You're saying, well, he's gonna play. We'll put him in early.
Yeah.
If he doesn't do anything, we got a whole game to overcome that.
Yeah.
And you're not depending on a situation where we're either up 30 or down 30 to get him in. You're like, all right, we're going to put him in. It'll be in the first quarter. We have time to recover in the game if things don't go well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that definitely was a plan. No, that's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. Not mad at that. All right. Another interesting thing in the world of basketball, we'll stay here for a second here. All right. Caitlin Clark declined the NBA's offer to participate in the three-point shootout in the All-Star weekend. Now, if you remember, last year they feel like that was a great event with Curry going against Sabrina Ionescu, correct?
Yeah.
And so the whole thing was it was an automatic lock that, Caitlin, you get Caitlin, who's a bigger name and is that shooting is a part of her, effectiveness.
Part of her game.
And, you know what I mean? And we're going to get her, and it'll be even a bigger and a better thing next year in the All-Star game. But, she declined. So let's see here. I'm reading this article here. She says Clark wants her first three-point contest to be at a WNBA All-Star, which is this summer, rather than the NBA. So that's the reason. What do you think about that?
It's not a good reason. No, it's not. Whether you like it or not, you are a symbol for the women's game. And, part of that, I think, is to step up in this situation. Because I thought last year went very well. You're not the first person being asked to do this.
Right.
The Sabrina did it last year. It was compelling. She shot very well. Lost to Steph, no shame in that. And it was fun. I think people enjoyed that. I watched it. I was rooting for Steph. But, you're invited to be a part of this again and you turn it down. It's a weak reasoning.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. At the end of the day, you get to step into NBA All-Star festivities, which is a big event with a lot of eyeballs, and you kind of get to show out. And again, it's that thing. If you're an ambassador for your game, don't miss an opportunity to bring fans to what you do. And that's what this comes down to.
I had no idea who Sabrina was before the NBA three-point thing last year. I just didn't.
I had heard the name. I thought she was one of the WNBA players, or I think when she was in college, she was kind of mentored by Kobe, is my recollection of it. She did have a relationship with Kobe in terms of mentor, not sexual, to my knowledge. But, you know, Kobe enjoys a good backdoor cut.
Hey.
So,
I mean, you know.
But yeah, so that, I mean, like, yeah, I knew the name. I don't follow the WNBA, so I didn't know, you know, what type of season or career she's had so far. But I thought it was pretty cool. She played well. You know, I mean, shot well, made a good appearance, seemed cool. Like it's such a low risk appearance with a lot to potentially get in terms of just, you know, reputation and appearing to be cool and good and mix it up with the All-Star. And again, All-Star weekend is like, historic's not the right, but it's kind of like a big deal socially.
Oh yeah,
like
for
to
sure. The
be
whole
a
weekend.
part of the events and
yeah.
things like that. The way that the game is disappointed more often than anything, but the weekend itself is like a great thing to be seen, you know, in the basketball world, and to kind of just sit out. Oh, I'd rather do this at the WNBA. Oh, who fucking cares? Seriously.
Are you gonna watch?
Watch what?
The WNBA's three-point shot.
Never watched it before. Not going to watch it now. You know? But again, I just totally think you have a wonderful stage that has, like, there's no bad outcome for you showing up. I mean, like, I guess if you went, like, 2 for 20, that'd be pretty bad. People would mock you. But it is what it is. I mean, it's not going to be any worse than Drake's gotten over the last couple months.
That's a bar. That's like, you know, that's a bar you can compare it to.
Yeah.
It's not going to get any worse than that.
I just don't. I don't understand. Who the hell's advising her?
Yeah, just a terrible decision, I think, too. I agree there.
And don't dare show up and not participate. She should be banned from the city.
But it is sort of a who's who, like you said, man.
But
so,
if you've been invited to participate and declined, please stay out of the city. That's my thing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't give you tickets to anything.
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't give you tickets to the Old Timers Buffet.
Ebony says you should watch it, Pink.
Hell no. I have no interest in watching that. I don't like watching pigs fuck, and I don't like watching WNBA All-Star Game. You draw your own comparison.
Nah, you know, if they take Shaq's idea and they come out with, you know, the little shorts, not to sexualize it, but it would be a little more interesting for me, that's all.
It would be sexualized.
I mean,
Just call it what it is, man.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
She pulled up to a Chiefs game.
Yeah.
Wasn't too good to do that. Guess she didn't have to actually deliver any goods there. Just hang out in the suite.
Yeah. Hang out in the suite.
Yeah.
Get plenty of airtime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right there. The Champions Series got it. Cloud chasing, hanging out with Taylor Swift at the Chiefs game.
Yeah.
So,
hanging out at the Chiefs game, clout chasing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there will be no clout chasing at the All-Star game if you can't shoot a couple threes.
Yeah, stay out of the city.
Yeah. All right. Once again, you guys are on the bench podcast with Bubba and Pink, home of sports, music, and mayhem. We're available on all podcast streaming platforms, including here on YouTube. Please like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Let's get to this kind of early here. Don't forget our sponsor, Royal13thebrand.com. Again, that is Royal13thebrand.com. Use promo code BubbaPink and be fresh here, man. It's the end of the winter. It's about to be spring here soon. It's already warming up a little bit, right?
Last day and a half were pretty positive.
I could deal with that.
Now
We're dealing with some decent weather.
I have been freezing lately.
Yeah.
Just miserable.
Yeah. The heat was broken in my house, man.
Really?
And
my coworker had that same problem. He had to go home yesterday early to meet the people to fix it.
Yeah. And now it's warm again, so it's like
let that ride a little longer.
It was this
come on, Tommy boy.
It was this older Asian guy, like really, really older, like I don't know, 60.
Mr.
I would
Miyagi?
say 60, 65. and he did fix it, but he was like his accent was really, really strong.
Really?
Yeah, but I have this big Ghana flag in the house, and so he was like, brother man, can I tell you something before I go? I'm saying that my accent is off. I might as well not even use that accent.
Yeah.
But he was like, I have to tell you about my houses and what you need to do to get. But apparently he has like 5 or 6 houses or something. He flips
Really?
houses and stuff like that. He said he just does this on the side or whatever.
Keep busy.
Yeah, they stay busy and
Good for him.
and stay mobile. But yeah, that's what's up, man. So buy your house, flip it, and get you another one. That is the
At the advice of Mr. Miyagi.
that is the advice there. All right, let's move it along here. I'm going to stay basketball for a second here because I just thought this was interesting too. I saw this when it happened. Dwight Howard. So Cam Newton on his podcast, okay, he brought on Dwight Howard's ex, of course, Royce Reed, who has had a lot to say about Dwight and in other places, and kind of initiated and started the conversation. And then, of course, Dwight responds here after seeing Royce Reed on Cam Newton's podcast talking about Dwight's sexuality, and Cam was like engaging and asking about it, like, oh, is Dwight gay? What about this? And what about that? He was like really probing into it. And then, of course, like I said, Dwight responded and was like a lot of snakes in this game that would do anything for views when they are broke. And then also, you had players like J.R. Smith come out and say that, that was bad on Cam's part. And I 1,000% agree. Like I said, that's chatty patty business, man. Shout out to the New York guy that was on Breakfast Club talking about that. You're a chatty patty, man. You can't do that, man. Listen, we know Dwight might dabble with boys. That's like a world known thing. We gotta know that, and it's fine. We gotten over that. You know what I mean? Like you're not even in the heat of it when he had different claims and different things going on. You're past that point.
He literally has a fiance who knows and seemingly cool with it.
And, yeah.
So it's not a fresh story or a fresh take. And again, is Cam Newton the media guy that should be having that discussion?
No.
He's a fellow athlete, but beyond that, what does he know about, being gay or bisexual or whatever?
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems like, it feels like some of Shannon Sharp's shittier shows.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, you're this sports guy, you have a big personality, and you're kind of going to go into certain lanes where you're interviewing certain guests that are just like, why am I doing this? I'm a fucking MVP of the National Football League.
Why do you have Royce fucking Reed on your show? She has absolutely nothing to offer to your platform on what you normally talk about other than whether Dwight Howard is gay or not. That is the only thing.
That's not a question. That's not a debate. He is.
Yeah.
He enjoys both. That's what he does. He's admitted as much. People close to him have admitted as much. You're not giving us anything new.
You're not breaking any ground.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I guess if she said some other famous names that he has slept with or something, maybe that would have moved the needle a little to make it somewhat worth it.
But then also funny, it's like with the Cam Newton thing, when he had the quotes talking about not being able to have the same type of money as he did when he was playing. Mm-hmm. He opens himself up for these broke jokes for the next, for the rest of his time on Earth.
I didn't even know about that until I read some of the comments.
Yeah, it was kind of funny though. But he kind of came out and said that, and then he walked it back. But yeah, it's a real thing. I mean, you're making NFL money, endorsement money, and then when you stop, they stop paying that money. And so, hopefully you've invested well and you kind of get he's got the podcast or whatever. He's maybe making a few dollars there, but you're not going to, start a podcast and immediately make what your last NFL deal was.
No.
That's just not the way it works.
No.
But, again, he came out and said he's not broke, but, maybe you go through a period where you're just not even thinking about money because you think it's going to last forever. And now you've got to kind of make some decisions that are a little bit more conservative and long-term based. It is what it is.
Facts.
But when you put that out there yourself in the way he put it out, you just open yourself up to jokes.
Yeah. I'm all for a good joke. Good broke joke.
Good broke joke.
Can't be broker than me, so, take that for what it is, Cam. You're doing well in life.
Bubba, you're your own worst enemy.
All right. On to another interesting basketball topic. Basketball season is going to take over here soon. All right. The trade deadline is coming up either next week or the week after. It's really soon here. I want to say next week. But anyhow, multiple reports have come out that De'Aaron Fox, his most desired team, is the San Antonio Spurs. Now, he did come out today and was like, oh, that's false. But, Sacramento can trade me. They have the rights to trade me to wherever, basically. Now, and remember this about Fox. Remember I told this to you months and months ago. I was like, hey, Fox did not. He declined his option,
Yeah.
He's out of here. You know what I mean? And I thought they should have moved Fox last summer. All right. Now, on the Spurs side, all right. I know you enjoy Wemby. You're a Wemby guy. Been there since before the NBA. You told me about him.
Yes.
My fault. Now, on the Spurs side, you don't have a ton of big moves to make, right? Fox is a max contract player. Like, is he a guy that you want to pair with Wemby? Because he's kind of the first guy. He's the first guy to say, oh, hey, yeah, Wemby is. I want to go there.
Yeah.
Now, but there might be better guys down the pipe. Fox is just the first one. So, if you're the Spurs, do you say, okay, we're going to choose Fox as the foundation piece. We're going to give up assets to get him, and we're going to pay him a max. And that's our pairing for the foreseeable future for the next 5 years. What do you think? Is that your guy?
I'm not against it. My guy and what I've been preaching for since last year was Anthony Edwards. Mm-hmm. I would do whatever's necessary to try to get him, but there's a reality right now that Edwards is not available, as far as we know.
Yeah. And
so, if I'm the Spurs, if I am the Spurs, I am kicking the tires on Anthony Edwards. Any other kind of like star player in that phase of their career. Luka's not touchable. I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. It's a pretty short list of guys if you really think about it. What
about let's start with guys that's available. Brandon Ingram.
Hell no.
You don't want any parts of Brandon Ingram.
He's fucking useless.
Okay, so you would prefer Fox over Ingram.
No contest.
Oh, no contest. Okay.
Not at all.
Okay. Let's go a little local here. They've been said Anthony Simons is available.
De'Aaron Fox is better.
Okay, gotcha.
By a lot.
Zion.
Hell no.
That's
He's
not even
an
a good.
injury
That's not even
no
a good
way.
pairing. That's not even a good.
I would not. I would not let him again in the city.
Laurie Marketing.
Hell, what the fuck does that guy do?
These are all-stars. He's an all-star.
He's a fucking fraud, man. Laurie Marketing. I mean, I'd rather have a fucking guy from the Y.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought I was getting somewhere with Laurie at first. With you, I thought you would have bid on that. Okay?
I don't really like white players.
I'm not. It's not because he's white.
I don't really like white. But I mean, if you're gonna be a white player, you got to be like a real motherfucker for me to like you on the team.
Okay.
Shout out Luke Doyle.
All right, so of course I'll leave Kyle Kuzma alone because he's not even better than the other guys I just said. Yeah. Okay. Damn, what's the guy in Toronto?
Scotty Barnes.
Scotty Barnes.
No.
Okay. Oh, yeah, it is a short list, man.
Yeah, it's a lot shorter than you think.
It's a lot shorter than you think.
I would pretend. I mean, if
no Jimmy.
No, Jimmy's older than Dirk. Like, it's all timeline. I might, if Booker was available, I might kick the tires on Booker.
We're about a year away, but like I can 1,000% see that him becoming available.
Anthony Edwards my top guy.
Trae Young.
No, don't like him.
Fox over Trae.
Yeah.
Now that's interesting.
No,
I think more people would be split. I know you don't care about more people, but I think more people would be split.
I want less people. I want 74 million less people. Yeah, no, I don't like. I mean, Trae Young's a good player. I respect him, but I think Fox has just a really nice two-way game, and he's kind of smooth, and he's got an egoless player.
Yeah.
I don't see that there's going to be a lot of integration issues with him to that team. Again, he's played admirably in Sacramento. If you could do that, you could sure as hell play admirably in San Antonio.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned.
I think I would lean more towards Trae. Now, again, Trae is another guy a year away. Like Fox is available and ready right now.
Yeah.
Because Trae is more of a playmaker, and he's probably one of the best lob throwers in the game. And I just kind of like that pairing. Both guys need a guy like Wemby behind them. You know what I mean?
For sure.
More so Trae than Fox. Like you said, Fox is more competitive on perimeter defense-wise. Yeah. But both guys, could really benefit with having a Wemby behind them. So, it's not the worst thing. It's not like, the world is over. They got Julius Randle on the team. Like, no, it's not that. But I just think they can do better. That's just
literally
a gamble you got to make.
We've kicked this around for a couple minutes, and you have potentially 3 names, 2 of which are not immediately about 4 names.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, we kicked this around. We had
what's going on, 10?
What's going on, 10?
Yeah, all right?
Y'all talking that?
Yeah.
We talking that talk. You got some new music coming out?
You know that.
Yes.
February 19th.
February 19th. Come in and plug it, man. Come in and plug
What
it.
y'all got going?
Yeah.
We talk
some
some
NBA,
NBA
man.
basketball, yeah. But go ahead and plug what you got.
Hey, man, February 19th. Finally got my date. It's officially go time, man. That's what we on.
February 19th. What the album called?
We dropping a song.
Oh, a song.
Album, man.
Okay.
Oh,
Song gonna
okay.
be called Sidewalk, though.
That's the
Sidewalk.
first one you
That's
released.
the first one.
That's the one hitting on February 19th.
Sidewalk featuring Lil Papa.
Okay.
Okay.
You got a little pop on it.
Hit him on the head. That's it.
You've been in the studio for a long time.
Yeah.
We're about to see what's
I live
good.
in the
What it's
studio.
on. I know you do. I'm just saying we're finally about to hear what all that work's done.
Oh, that's a lot, bro. I ain't gonna lie, that's a lot. And I got my,
Yeah.
Yeah.
cuz I don't know y'all remember Silk.
What's up?
Nah. What's going on, man?
Good. What's up?
Yeah. You just plugging the new.
I remember, bro. You doing the voiceover.
Yeah. For the animation cartoon. Yeah.
That's
Call
it.
that black John, the Chinese rice at the store, some shit like that.
Yeah. We tried to get 10 on the animation
Y'all
tip.
talk about Jimmy Butler yet?
Oh yeah, we talked about Jim last week.
Yeah,
Man. What you
that's
thought
it.
about Jimmy? He going
There's
crazy?
too much going on, bro. I just know they suspended him like indefinitely, like.
Yeah. Suspend him indefinitely.
Like, then
He came back a game.
But
Yeah,
then he got suspended.
He got
again.
suspended again.
Yeah. They basically he came to shoot around and they said you're not gonna be a starter anymore, and he walked out and then
He
they
dropped
suspended him
14
indefinitely.
when they brought him back.
Yeah.
He
It's
a starter,
crazy.
though. He ain't.
When he tried to get that gap trade, he tried to get that trade gap.
Yeah.
He got denied.
Deadline's coming up, so he's-
Yeah. He gonna get
something's gotta happen.
Something gotta happen.
Something's got
Something gotta happen, man.
Tell
too
Jimmy
funny.
come to Mississippi, man. We got a team for him.
I bet he said he don't want to go to Memphis.
I
That's
know.
crazy though.
That's like the one team he said they want to go to. I
but
don't know why.
you talking about New Orleans or what you talking about?
Yeah, Memphis.
Memphis.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, he
No.
said he didn't want to go to Memphis.
Said he did not want to go to Memphis.
The only team is only one team he don't want to go to, and that's Memphis. That's
Why you
crazy.
think that, though? Why
I can't figure that
He
out.
don't fit right with Memphis.
The only
already
Jimmy wanna pass first guard.
Yeah.
John Morant is a score first guard.
Yeah.
That-
He's a
that-
score first
I ain't mad at that.
I was
That might
thinking
be-
if he got a beef with somebody on a team,
I bet
though,
he'll
maybe.
go to Milwaukee.
He
He
did talk about
did
Milwaukee.
want he did
Yeah,
talk about one of
yeah.
Milwaukee.
Yeah, he
He'll
did
go
talk
to
about
Denver.
Yeah,
He'll go to Phoenix.
something like he really want to go to
He'll
Phoenix.
go to
Yeah.
Spurs.
Yeah,
He'll go to
he
San
really want to go to
Antonio.
Phoenix. That's
I heard
number
the
one.
coach
Don't
ain't trying to let
pass,
him,
don't pass first guard.
Yeah.
Nah, he asking for too much.
Yeah.
Nah, Jimmy
For an
asking
old guy that
Jimmy
plays like
asking
40
for
games a year.
A fucking Jason Tatum contract right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for
facts.
sure.
He ain't gonna get that.
Nah, you're not finna get that.
Yeah,
You
and he ain't Jason Tatum
now.
now.
Jimmy got no ring.
Nah. He
Yeah.
been to the finals once, but
Yeah,
he
he
don't
won
have a
once,
chance.
Twice.
Twice?
In
Yeah,
the bubble and then against Denver.
Oh, the bubble. I always forget about it.
He was
Yeah.
a couple seats, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's been getting
Come to
older. And
Orlando.
come on to it.
Hey, why you
I ain't gonna
playing?
lie, I can see Jimmy in Orlando, bro.
I can see Jimmy on that.
Nah,
though.
if Orlando had Jameer Nelson, I know they'll be happy with Jimmy Butler.
Is that the Magic can't beat the Beckers, huh?
They'll be happy with a lot less.
Come on, tell the podcast what's up.
That's
It's my birthday.
It's
That's
a
your
bad time. Oh, his
birthday.
birthday?
Happy birthday
It's
shout
my
out.
birthday. Yeah, birthday. They say I'm Big 5.
How old are you?
Sound 5.
5.
I like that.
There you go. The
Oh,
big
you got,
5.
You got an athlete right there on your hand. That's a big 5.
Making this one right here, doctor.
Hey, no wrong with that.
He's got the dinosaurs over here.
Good dog.
I had to holler at
No, I appreciate you. You know, always.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, man.
Always.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what?
Good to see you,
Already.
man.
Appreciate y'all,
Yes, sir.
man.
We'll be looking on the 19th.
10%. Yes, sir. You got Just Black saying that Bronny, the kid, is not an NBA player. He would never be
Oh, okay.
an undersized off guard who can't guard the shadow and can't score, or shoot at all, or even run an offense. He said at first he thought his ceiling was Gary Payton, like the Gary Payton Jr.
Yeah.
But he said I was wrong. His ceiling is the G League.
If that, yeah.
It is. Shout out to Champ.
Yeah.
Saying that Cooper Flag, Dalton Connect, just other players
Dalton Connect
that
is
could
not
fit
that
with-
guy.
could fit with Wemby.
Nah, that Dalton, you're not. No, Dalton Connect. No, just circling back to that real quick. I mean, we just kind of did a quick scan of the league and came up with, Fox, Booker, Trey Young, and we had one other guy.
Yeah, we did.
I can't
I don't
remember.
know. The Utah kid, marketing. Oh no, you said that you would say it was okay.
No, there was one other guy that was kind of like,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think Anthony Edwards would my ideal situation. But like, those guys are not available, and Fox is. I don't have a problem with this deal.
Again,
I think
but
this
but
helps the team.
if Minnesota flames out another year, you already see like every other week, Anthony is saying something in disgust with his team.
Yeah, for sure.
So like, but will that boil after this summer? I think you need another year of disappointment.
Yeah, I don't. That's the thing that I
But
don't.
you don't
know,
want to chance that.
and you don't want to chance that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
how
yeah,
long are you
yeah.
going to string this along?
Exactly.
And
yeah.
again, if you're looking at the Spurs, I'm trying to build a really solid team. I've got Wemby. Castle looks like he's going to play.
He could be a rotational.
Vassell looks like a
He's
decent
rotational
player.
player.
You still got Chris Paul doing his thing. You bring in De'Aaron Fox, and again, another like good professional guy that I feel has good sort of tough game, tough situation moxie to him, and like you just keep adding pieces.
Yeah, you're adding.
You want to look at like the Celtics and these types of teams, the Warriors when they had it right. Where you build an ensemble cast of dudes. You don't need everybody to be an alpha star.
No.
You need dudes that are going to fit and work and compete and have high level talent
And do stuff at an NBA elite level.
Yeah, championship
You know what I mean?
level.
Not everybody is the elite scorer, but everybody on there has an elite NBA skill. I 1000% agree. Yeah, like I said, I definitely wouldn't be mad at it. De'Aaron Fox is he's definitely a good, really good option for that. We'll see. Now Sacramento has recently, since then, has upped their asking price. So
Yeah, and he is that guy too. Like you look at him, it's like he's obviously older than Wemby, but he's still in his prime.
Oh, he's still in his prime.
And he's also in that window where he's going to feel some urgency to define his career.
Yeah.
And with Wemby, he's going to see that
And that's why he wants out of Sacramento.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to see.
He sees the bigger picture.
Yeah, I mean, they were good 2 years ago, but not knocked out early to the Warriors. They were disappointing last year, disappointing this year. He doesn't want to spend the prime of his career at a place that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And shout out to him. He's not being Dame Lillard.
You beat me to it. I said he could easily be another Dame Lillard.
Yeah.
And just stay there and own the Sacramento City and do all of this foolishness and it wouldn't amount to a hill of beans.
Yeah.
1000% he could do that. Yeah, for sure. Now, I got to be faster. That's all. Yeah, you guys are still on the bench podcast. Let's see here. Let's hit some quick things here before we hit the Super Bowl talk. All right, hold on. He says, Black says Jimmy in Memphis might be a good fit. We know that.
Yeah.
But for some reason, he just doesn't want to go. Hopefully, news will break or why he doesn't want to go there. Another chatty patty, man. Won't have to stay on this long. But Orlando Brown, he's just he's recreated himself. Says that Karen Parson and Damian Wayans had an affair while filming Major Payne. Now Major Payne was
When did they film Major Payne? Like 1998?
It was a long time ago, man. It was a movie that I came up during my adolescence and really loved. But again, man, what's the point of saying this? What's the point that they were sleeping together on set?
So that we talk about Orlando Brown.
Yeah, but it's like, just
That's the only thing he brings to the table now is just weird, gossipy
really
stuff.
weird.
But
yeah.
it's like old and stale shit. It's not interesting.
No, it's just like, for what, man?
Yeah.
For what? All right.
And who cares if they're credit to them?
Well, I mean, but I guess he's saying because they were cheating on whatever, that's, whatever, husband or wife.
There's
or
always
whatever
collateral damage.
I do always wonder, though, like, as an actor or actress, especially if you're in a sexual or sensual scene, like nothing ever happens offset, like between you two. Do you,
I think it does.
you're staring at each other's eyes for weeks or months, however big the
and
movie is.
not only like to
On
me,
top of each other.
to me, not only the intimate scenes, because they are what they are.
Yeah.
But like you're on a movie set and you're in kind of like this, like there's a romantic vibe to your characters, and you could tell like just some people when they're acting like they just have a chemistry.
Yeah.
And it's something you can't like turn off or deny.
Yeah.
When you're around somebody and everything just flows, the lines flow quickly. There's funny, there's flirty, there's whatever. It's like, yeah, that's gonna carry over off the set.
Yeah.
I mean, unless the people are kind of extraordinarily committed to not letting that happen, it probably happens quite a bit.
Yeah. My yeah. I don't have to say too much. All right.
Any particular reason you're not going to say too much?
No, I don't have to say too much.
You're back in your days on the set of Walking Dead. Might have sparked a flame or two.
That's hilarious. What is this? Okay. That was that. Okay, another one here. Another quick crazy one. So, Indianapolis mother was arrested for neglect after death of her 2-year-old daughter. She allegedly let her 2-year-old and 4-year-old live by themselves while she lived with her boyfriend throughout the week. That's nuts, man.
Yeah, this is crazy.
That's nuts.
These stories are just so upsetting, and a kid is such a special thing. When they're in the little age category, they get up every day, they just want to have some fun, learn some shit, have food, maybe poop, and that's it. And like when you are a parent and you can't create that environment for your kid through your own conscious decisions. I know there are people that are, financially in really bad situations and it's hard to do that stuff. But there's a lot of people in those situations that they do whatever they can to get the best of what they can. But when you make a conscious decision to let 2 freaking toddlers live by themselves, even overnight one time, like I have no problem with the death penalty for you. I have no issue with you being in jail forever. Like you are unfit to do anything if you can't be like a halfway passable parent.
Let me tell you this. That boyfriend, he needs some time. He needs some time too.
Yeah, for sure.
He needs some jail time too, man. Yeah. Not as much as her, because I know it's not his child, but he deserves some time too, because he knows she has children at the house. You're taking her away. He's probably a shitty guy too. He's probably.
Well, there's no. I mean, yeah, there's no probably about it. There's simply no way.
Yeah.
Like, put yourself in a position. Well, let me just say this. Literally, unless he is completely unaware, and this woman has completely lied to him.
Yeah.
And basically said, "Oh, my kids are with my mom or my aunt or my sister."
That's on the table.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
And he literally has no idea. She's like free to come to his house, free to hang, whatever. But even in that situation where there's a complete lie that's not, broken down in any way, like at some point when it's that consistent, you have to like think to yourself, like, do you ever spend time with your kids? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, you don't do anything with your kids. Like, you're here Monday through Friday and you don't see the kids, at all.
Facts.
That's craziness. And like at that point, you'd have to catch on. But again, if he's aware in any level that these kids are unsupervised and he's not a decent enough person to say, bring them over to the house.
And he says in the story, it says not he, but in the story it says that she would go by, once a day to drop off like food and snacks, and then leave again.
Yeah.
And and the kids were found with wounds and stuff like that, bruises and things like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely an unfortunate story, and I hope both of them receive something from the system.
Death.
And never see the light of day.
Never breathe again.
Yeah. The other kid that's still alive deserves a better family home.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, so don't let her get out and then get the kid. Yeah.
Yeah, she should have her uterus ripped out and never see another kid.
Yikes.
Well, what? There's no other answer.
No.
You think she's having protected sex over there at Homeboy's house?
I don't think she'll have any in jail either.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to a little football talk before the Super Bowl. There's a college story here. Did you see this?
Yeah.
Ohio State star wide receiver Jeremiah Smith, who kind of broke on the scene here, especially in the playoffs, has received an offer in excess of $4.5 million to enter the transfer portal after his breakout freshman season. I've been told that's more than double what he's making now. So, like I said, the Buckeyes are, looking to redo their deal. I never thought about this from that angle, that players could, overperform and outperform, and then other teams will be like, hey, if you jump in the transfer portal, we give you double what you're making now.
Well, the thing is, you're not supposed to. Like, that's the thing. Like, you're not supposed to communicate with guys until they're in the portal. And that's kind of the thing, is once you're in the portal, anybody can reach out and say, hey, here's what we think we could do for you. Are you interested? Yeah. But that's where, and Boise State's staff was talking about that during the playoff, is that, 17, 18, 19 of their guys had been tampered with.
Damn. While
they're still playing. People are reaching out through whatever intermediaries directly saying, hey, if you go in the portal, we're willing to do this.
Hopefully the Gators will.
Yeah, exactly. So it's it's just the Wild West. It's complete lawlessness, and it's not going to be, good for the game at the end of the day. Now, if you're Jeremiah Smith, you're basically stuck in college for 2 pointless years. You might as well make as much money as you can. I mean, unless you have some strange love for Ohio State University. Yeah, why not? Go get paid.
Some people do.
Yeah. But you get,
especially when you already get the cachet, and especially if you're not a quarterback and you already get the cachet, you're already number 1 or number 2 on the boards. All you have to do is, because like I say, because I don't know what schools these are. It may be like a bad school or something. I don't know, or a bad situation as far as wins wise and getting back to the playoffs and things like that. But if a team's going to pay you whatever, $5-6 million.
Well, again, it's possible they're bad teams. I doubt they're bad teams. It might be Texas. Like, why not go catch passes from Arch?
You know what? Now that you say that, yeah. Because what bad teams are not going to have the money to throw for that $5 million at a receiver. Like,
right.
You know what I mean?
Right. But he's the guy. He's absolutely the guy.
Yeah, he's good.
And that's the real deal. And again, to me, he's got to waste 2 years of his life in college football.
Yeah.
That's not, he should be in the draft this year.
Yeah. That old Maurice Correct rule.
Yeah. It just doesn't make any sense, really.
I remember they said Adrian Peterson was ready out of high school.
Yeah. Well, he was.
Yeah.
He stepped right into Oklahoma and ran for a bunch, and nobody stopped him. A lot of guys were. Bo Jackson was. Herschel Walker was. Some of these guys. Not every player. Probably not every line. Probably 99% of all linemen who've ever played are not ready. As freshmen or after one season of college to be in the NFL and compete and play. But skill position guys, yeah.
Yeah.
He dominated. Just from day one, he dominated. Practice one, he dominated.
Yeah.
I remember hearing stuff when he got up there. It's they're not going to miss Marvin Harrison Jr. at all. He's been replaced.
Yeah. I caught on to him late.
Yeah.
The only thing I didn't like about the talk of Jeremiah Smith and things like that was about like, yeah, and he'll be number 1 overall in this draft if he was to come out. I think that's a little too much. I think that was a lot too much.
I don't think so.
I do. I think
because look at this draft.
You just throwing Travis Hunter to the side. I think Travis Hunter is a better player. He's a better athlete.
He might be a better athlete, but he's not a better receiver.
Yeah, but you're getting a two-way guy. A guy that is committed to play both sides.
That is the assumption that you're getting a two-way guy. But if that doesn't work out, if the workload's too much, or he doesn't develop at one position,
it's a lot of ifs, Pink. I could say the same about Jeremiah. Yeah, if Jeremiah gets hurt, or if this or if that.
I'm saying, like if he was available in this draft, he would have as good a chance as any player, Travis, Cam, Shadur, whoever, to be the number 1 pick. He would be right in that conversation, and it would come down to the interviews, team needs, like that kind of that level stuff to determine whether he's that guy or not.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I like Travis, man. I think in a battle, I think Travis is locking him up. And if Jeremiah had the nuts to go on the other end, I think Travis will do him in on as a receiver versus Jeremiah as a DB, both ways.
Okay.
So we'll see, man. We'll see. Alrighty. Now, what we do have here is we do know what 2 teams are going to be in the Super Bowl.
A rematch
Of Kansas City Chiefs versus Philadelphia Eagles. Okay. And, the Eagles look strong, taking down the Commanders team. Pretty much a blowout that they really commanded the game throughout the entirety. And then you have the Kansas City Chiefs, of course, in a close win over the Buffalo Bills. So what's your overall takeaway from the game that's coming up? What are some of the things you're going to be, you're looking at and excited for, things like that?
I like the matchup. I think that it begins really – well, let me say this. All of these playoff games are defined largely by turnovers. And we say the Eagles handled the Washington, but Washington turned the ball over 4 times. 3 times when you're arguably in a game. You can't do that and win. That's what undid the Ravens in that game. That's what undid the Lions the week before. So if any one of these 2 teams is going to show up in a week and a half and turn the ball over, they're going to get their ass kicked because the other teams, the other opponent is too good to have a plus or -3 or -4 turnover margin and have a competitive game. That's not happening. So if any team comes to this game and goes down 3 in the turnover battle, they're getting cooked. Yeah. That's it. It's that simple. But if turnovers are level, the matchup is, can Saquon run enough? Can he break big plays? Can he consistently churn off yards that the Eagles are able to sort of stay on top of the game offensively and play the way that they want to play? The Chiefs, I think defensively, you have to sell out to stop Saquon and then make Jalen Hurts try to beat you with his arm. I think that's the defensive game plan. Get them into passing situations, load up with the blitz at Jalen Hurts, and watch him crumble. Yeah. That's the Chiefs' defensive plan. Offensively, the plan is always the same. Find a way.
Yeah. Now, like I said, the Chiefs do have a strong defense. Now, they guys have been able to run on them a little bit in this playoff run. Yeah. So that scares me a little bit there, of course, with Saquon and this offensive line of the Eagles coming in. But that has to be the game plan for the Chiefs. The what's that stake is just so crazy to even think about. From a three-peat, being that nobody in the NFL has done so, which is interesting because in these other sports, you have three-peats in basketball and baseball and I'm assuming soccer. It's not set up the same as soccer.
No, that's soccer.
Like a cup. So so
soccer.
It depends on
what you're like league titles. You have like Bayern Munich's won the German league like 9 or 10 times in a row.
Yeah, I think that would be the comparison.
Yeah,
to a season.
Football's different because football soccer is different because there's no salary cap.
Yeah,
and in certain countries, certain teams can pay and build super teams, and in any country there might be 2 or 3 or maybe 5 or 6 teams that have a chance, and virtually nobody else has a chance to win.
Yeah. That's kind of like it is in baseball.
Baseball's similar. 'cause
Similar,
You
but-
do
but-
have
but-
it.
but I
There's
think-
no salary cap.
Yeah.
So baseball-wise, you can kind of do that. Now, football and why this is such an amazing thing is to a couple things. It's the salary cap imposes some real restrictions on how you can develop roster.
Real restrictions.
And then football is also a high injury attrition rate sport, more so than the others. And you have a 53-man roster, which is the biggest roster in professional sports. And the variability and the things that have to go right and the different players you depend on. Like in an NBA team, you get a big 2 or big 3 stars, they're going to play 40 minutes a night in the playoffs and control both ends of the floor.
Right. Even though
You
it's
know.
a salary cap sport, that still
Right.
can.
That's the dynamics of playing basketball and the significance of having 1 or 2 fantastic players kind of dictate the way the game's played on both ends. And it's a fluid movement game. With football, it's offense, defense, special teams. It's the best player in the world only plays a relatively small percentage of the game,
right.
in terms of total plays, and that changes it. That makes it so much more variable. And like I said, the injury rate, guys getting hurt, it happens across the league to every team. Some greater than worse, some more than others. But to put together 3 seasons in a row where you get to the end of this thing and win is absolutely absurd. And again, there's been 50 plus Super Bowls, and it's never happened. And that kind of tells you everything.
It does. It does. And then, like, if they win this one, then like a 4-peat is on the table. Like it's like things that are nuts is on the table if they are able to get this done. And but there are other teams that have been in position to 3-peat, and just crazy things happen. The Patriots were in position once, and actually the Eagles stopped their 3-peat, which is interesting. The Nick Foles season. And, just funny, weird, quirky things happen. And then another thing I looked at is each time the Chiefs have been in the Super Bowl, the other team has been, like, just way more talented. And, and this year, the Chiefs have been like really disrespected as far as being a 15-2 team, whatever. Really, 14-1, whatever you think of that last game or whatever. Andy is not up for any Coach of the Year awards. Patrick's not up for the MVP. He's not even an all Pro, which is the top 3 quarterbacks in the league. The defense, like. They're really not up for any awards. Like Chris is our best defensive player. He's not up for Defensive Player of the Year or whatever. And versus like these other teams that we beat, the Bills and whatever, and the Ravens, and now the Eagles. With all of these, and it is interesting how just the makeup of the Chiefs and how they get into this game, and then all of a sudden after the game you look and it's like, damn, how did they just kind of control this game? As the undermanned team, so to speak, like as the less superior team talent wise.
Yeah, I mean it's really been the recipe all year. Winning close games, 17 straight wins in 1-score games.
Wow,
and that's always been one of the great metrics in football is 1-score games. I mean the NFL is like a super competitive league, and you can literally correlate like playoff seasons to non-playoff seasons by looking at the result in 1-score games. And you'll have a team that they go 6-1 in 1-score games, and they end up having like a 12-win season and make the playoffs. The next year that same team runs it back and they're 2-5 in those 1-score games, and they fall short of the playoffs. And for a team to go 17 straight in 1-score games it's ridiculous. It's as ridiculous as the notion of a 3-peat. And here we are, a week and a half away from seeing them do this, or attempt to do this. And to me, the funny thing is there's just this like lazy fatigue of the Chiefs.
Oh man,
a lot of just neutral characters are just worn out by the Chiefs. They're buying into the referee narrative, and they just don't want the Chiefs to win. But to me, it kind of like it's the Nick Saban quote. It's like high achievers don't like low achievers, and low achievers don't like high achievers. It's like if you are about greatness, you're going to appreciate what the Chiefs are trying to do here. and how they've gone about doing it. But if you're just a mediocre schlub, you're going to want the Chiefs to lose just because you want the world to wallow in mediocrity like yourself. It's comforting to you to have people fail and be mediocre because that's what you are. So when you look at the Chiefs and whether you're supporting them or not, it speaks to who you are as a person.
I have been hated. I thought about this the other day too, because that is a huge narrative of people just wanting the Chiefs to lose, tired of the Chiefs, and buying, like you said, buying into the referee narrative. I've never hated any dynasty. Like even like the Patriots, I'm a Chiefs fan, lifelong Chiefs fan. I never like hated the Patriots when they were really good and we were like shitty.
Yeah.
And wanted them to lose and this and that. I didn't care. That's a good team. I want to watch a good teams play in the playoffs and in the Super Bowl, and that's the end of that. Like I don't know. It's weird a little bit, but I understand it's a part of sports.
But I think it is what I just said it is. Yeah. It speaks to who you are and how you see the world.
Yeah.
And most people are mediocre. That's the very nature of mediocrity.
Some people are going to go against that point and say, well, it's not that. It's because, I'm a fan of Cowboys or I'm a fan of whatever.
Well, if you're a fan of the Cowboys, your season's done 6 weeks ago.
Right, but what I'm saying is like, well, that's not my team, and I don't want them to win because I understand what you're saying. I buy into that.
Yeah, no, what I'm saying is this, though. At this point, if you are an Eagles fan, you're going to root for the Eagles.
Yeah.
Hats off to you. If you're a neutral and you're not rooting for what the Chiefs are trying to do, it's a reflection of who you are as a person.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
And I'm not arguing that.
Last week, Bills fans, I got it. You're a Bills fan, you want the Chiefs to lose. I'm here for that.
Yeah.
But if you are a neutral and you are watching this unfold, you're watching history, you're watching somebody stalk history, and that doesn't move you, it's because you don't respect greatness.
Yeah.
You don't understand greatness. You want mediocrity because that's what you're familiar with.
Mm. That's tough. That's a tough reality. Now,
reality is often tough. It's kind of like the dildo of consequences. It seldom comes lubed.
Now, let me ask you this. We talked about, the Jaden Daniels Commanders, and we talked about, quarterbacks and where they're putting him. A lot of people are putting him at the 5 spot behind the 4 horsemen of Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and Joe Burrow, right? It's sort of an opening at 5.
It's an opening.
We
have an opening at the 5th best quarterback on the planet. Submit your applications.
If the Eagles win, what does this do for Jalen? Jalen Hurts has had like a weird career. He came in as a quarterback people thought needed a lot of work and things like that. They kind of get to the Super Bowl rather quickly in his career. He has a hell of a Super Bowl game, really performs well. And then they lose their coordinators. He kind of has a down 2 years or whatever, and now has his team back in the Super Bowl. If he wins, what does that do? And why won't people put him in the conversations of these other quarterbacks? They're saying even with a Super Bowl win.
Because he hasn't been special. The back half of last year, he was bad, legitimately bad. And most of this year, he's just been, at his best, he's been good. He's not touched greatness this year. Maybe he goes out there and throws for 350 and 4 touchdowns, but I don't think that's going to happen. And it's the same thing we said last week in analyzing the game. Like, you look at the Commanders and the Eagles, there's a likelihood going into that game that Jalen Hurts plays really bad, and they lose. It didn't happen. He played pretty well, but again, he wasn't brilliant. You walked away from that game looking at the Saquon run to start the game and Saquon 3 touchdowns, and Jalen did his part, did not hurt the team at all, played well.
He doesn't have to be.
And that's the exact reason. If they win the Super Bowl, and they don't. Okay, put it this way: they're not winning this Super Bowl if Saquon doesn't do something. Jalen Hurts is not going to have a 350-yard, 4-touchdown passing day.
We don't know that.
I'm saying it ain't happening.
We saw him extremely ball out. He was the best quarterback on the field when they faced off against the Kansas City Chiefs in that Super Bowl in that first matchup.
But he wasn't the winning quarterback.
Okay,
But
see what I'm saying? So what if they win?
I know what you're saying. I'm just saying, if you're asking me the question, I don't see him doing that. I don't think he's that guy. Now, if he does that, that will mean something to him.
Okay.
If he's a Super Bowl champion and he plays MVP
Super
level
Bowl MVP,
has that type of game,
yeah,
and it's not a Saquon game or the Chiefs turn the ball over 3 times game. If it's Jalen Hurts slinging it around and making every play, that changes how people look at him, no doubt. I just don't think that's the likely scenario, even if the Eagles win. And that's because I don't think he's truly that guy. I think he's a good NFL quarterback that can prosper with the right pieces around him. I don't think he's good enough to carry a team. I have a lot of respect for him because I thought when he was at Alabama, he was terrible. He could not throw a football. And he's come so far from that. And I will always look at his career with a measure of respect. But I don't think he's elite quarterback.
it's not that I disagree. It's
It's
just that what has happened is not that reality. Like, there are many quarterbacks. There's plenty of playoff series before Tom Brady, became Tom Brady, where he won the Super Bowl and he was regarded as a best quarterback in the league, where he had marginal stats in the playoff runs and Super Bowls, where the defense, the kicker, won those games. Tom Brady has 7 Super Bowls. He's not a 7-time Super Bowl MVP.
But that's not the question that you asked me.
No. I'm asking you. I'm asking, can he sneak in the top 5? I'm saying Brady was regarded number 1 without top performances.
Well, no, but I'm saying like top games. 5 in the I'm assuming.
Let me name some names. Justin Herbert.
I take myself over
Jaden Daniels. over those Tua. Over those. That's what I'm asking.
And
with a Super Bowl win, he can't be over Tua and Herbert and
he's over those guys already.
Jaden and
Again, I mean, in a lot of ways, it's kind of soft at 5. I don't like. There's not. I mean, unless we're missing somebody, there's not somebody that jumps out. There's kind of tiers of this.
Yeah.
There's 4 guys that have put together high level, consistent, elite level play with a lot of wins. And I don't think that he could be the 5 guy by default, I guess, if he wins. But there's not a clear 5. And
it's not a clear 5.
You can't sit here and tell me that you look at him in the same tier as those first 4.
I think he needs my point to all of this is if he wins, like, he needs to be regarded as that. I'll have him there, but what I'm saying is everyone at least has to have him in the conversation. I agree with you as of right now, as it stands. I don't think he deserves to be in that discussion. But with a win, that would have means he's been to 2 Super Bowls, won 1. You know what I mean? Like that shit just has to mean something. And that would have mean he's played well in both Super Bowls.
Winning a Super Bowl means something for sure. It definitely elevates your status. But what I'm saying is that unless he plays a really strong game, if he plays like he did in the first Super Bowl he was in,
you know what I mean,
and they win, people are going to feel differently about him. But if he plays a modest average game, and they win, more through Saquon or more through defense or Chiefs turnovers, it's not going to change tremendously where you see him in that absolute upper tier quarterbacks. Because you haven't seen, there's a certain level when you're watching those other dudes play that there's like a level of kind of like borderline amazement. And if he doesn't give you that level of performance on this stage, I don't think you just put him in that position. You're still going to say, well, I like those top 4, and I probably got to go with Jalen at 5, but I don't think you feel him in the same tier. That's the distinction I'm making. But I'm saying if he has that type of elite game, and again, it's all history and narrative writing.
Right.
Now you have 2 standout performances in the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
One's a win. You beat Mahomes. It is that way. But I would say this, Eli beats Tom Brady twice.
Mm-hmm.
It probably cements him as a Hall of Famer. I don't have any argument with that. But it didn't get him in the conversation of top 3 to 5 quarterbacks in football, even in the immediate aftermath of those Super Bowl victories.
Yeah, but Eli is a different guy than Jalen. Eli is a guy who's led the league in interceptions multiple times. Never was regarded as never was
But who regards Jalen Hurts that great?
Yeah, but he like Eli would have seasons where he's like really like he stinks. Like even when Jalen had a bad season last season, he didn't stink.
He stunk the second half.
Not like yeah,
100%
okay, like last 5 or 6 games. I'm talking about Eli led the league in interceptions multiple times.
That's fine. I get
missed
that,
the playoffs. His team missed the playoffs because of these 4 or 5 interception games. They missed the playoffs. He missed the playoffs more times than they made the playoffs in his career because of his bad play at quarterback. Interceptions was his thing. You know what I mean? Like that that's different.
I don't think it's that different when you're looking at the totality of like what this guy means. The point of this is that he beat the greatest guy twice in the Super Bowl, and nobody was saying this is a top 5 quarterback.
That's Joe Flacco. That's Chad Pennington.
Joe
That's
Flacco
that
beat
level of
Colin
guys.
Kaepernick.
It don't matter who you beat. I understand
It does
Eli's in the Hall of Fame because of who he beat, but what I'm saying is who he beat was not going to put him in a top 5 because, But
what are we saying about Jalen Hurts? That's what I'm saying. Like
what I'm saying about Jalen Hurts is, if he wins, okay, that would mean he's been to 2 and won 1, and he's never been a terrible quarterback. You know what I mean? That I know Eli's been a while, but I remember those Eli seasons where they missed the playoffs and he threw 45 interceptions, breaking records, breaking Brett Favre's records.
How many years has Jalen Hurts been in the NFL?
We're looking at what? At least 5 or 6?
Probably 5. His first rookie year, he was do we have something? Not sure. Second, he showed some growth, but he wasn't really good. Third was the Chiefs Super Bowl. He looked like a man on the rise. And then to me, he's essentially regressed for the last 2 years. He really fell apart down the stretch last year. And then this year, he's been steady but unspectacular on a team that hasn't required him to be that much more.
Correct.
That's not like the stuff of top, like the whether, and I mean, in any given era of football, sometimes you have, 2 guys, 3 guys, 4 guys, 5, maybe 6 guys that are that guy. And I just don't think him winning a week and a half from now automatically puts him in that tier. I don't think most people are going to see him that way. Now, he is going to accumulate a resume that might be Hall of Fame worthy. Again, Super Bowl champion, 2 Super Bowl appearances, and he's 5 years into the league, so maybe he does some more of this stuff, and maybe we see him differently later. But where we are right now, even with a win, short of an absolute, maestro's performance on his part individually, I don't think people see him in the top 4.
But even if it's by default, what I'm saying is he has to be there if that happens.
Has to be where, though?
5.
5 is fine, okay? 5.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
But you're not in the top 4.
Yeah, that's a stretch.
The other 4 guys
that's
are different than you.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
and we kind of said 5's kind of a weak spot. There's nobody that, whether by virtue of pure talent or accomplishment, really locks that down.
Yeah. No, that's facts. That is facts. And then next week we'll get into some more Chief stuff and really Mahomes. And I wanted to say that for next week leading up into the game. And we'll get into a lot of the Mahomes stuff and what does that mean for him and his legacy. But I did think that was good to get some Jalen Hurts talk in because, it would be interesting to see how he's regarded after the game. Especially in the case that they win. If they lose, it'll be more of what you said, 100%.
Yeah.
Then, yes, still on the bench podcast with Bubba and Pink. I thought this was interesting here. Adam Silver is pro shorter games. Okay, the 10-minute quarters, as you said, that's kind of how the EuroLeague is set up.
Yeah,
right?
FIBA basketball is the 10-minute quarters. That's what we saw in the Olympics.
Yeah.
For those that watch that.
And of course the NBA is still on on a mission to kind of like, get viewership back. You got the NFL that's pretty much just stolen Christmas from them. The Grinch who stole Christmas, that's the NFL.
Yeah, that was tough.
That's 2 years in a row, and that's shitty. It's a shitty move by the NFL, but also it's like, hey, what can you do? Be better.
Yeah.
So the NBA is looking at different ways to change things and do different things. How do you like this idea?
I've always had an issue that basketball, which is essentially a simple game, is played so many different ways from a fundamental rules standpoint, not stylistically. College, you have the 2 20-minute halves, and you have the three-point line at a certain place. FIBA, you've got 4 10-minute quarters and the three-point line somewhere else in the trapezoidal lane. The NBA, you have 48-minute games with a completely different line for three-point shots and no trapezoid lane. It's like there's no reason that the rules of basketball at the college and above level should not be uniform.
Right.
It just does not make sense to me. It's just somebody being stubborn over the way we're going to do things. And I think that's idiotic. The value of the 10-minute quarter game is that will put you in a 2-hour window of performance.
Yeah.
Which is very manageable. When you watch some of the NBA games now, you got like the 8 o'clock start, and depending on the flow of that game, sometimes that's not finishing until 10:30 or 10:40. And sometimes it's encroaching on the 10:30 tip. And it's not clean. It's something that needs to be addressed. And I think that's certainly a way to do it. It's also another way to low-key reduce wear and tear on players. Now, one of the things you could say is, well, hey, with 48 minutes, more teams are going to use their bench guys more or this or that. But the reality is, like, instead of, starters may end up playing in the high 20s, maybe 30 minutes. And you're still going to sub and play different guys. And it might, kind of prolong some careers, maybe reduce injury rate a little bit. Not 100% sure on how all that'll play out. But I am attracted by the 2-hour window to play the game.
Tibbs will play his guys all 40 minutes.
He'll go 40. You guys played 40 and 48. Now you'll just play 40.
Now you just play 40.
Yeah, we're not even going to pay some of these guys in the bench. They're going to play them on contracts like per minute played, which will be 0.
No. Yeah, and another thing too is because, like you said, that was one of his when on this thing he says he explains why he's a fan. That's one of the reasons, right? That because it's a cleaner, 40 minutes. I'm sorry,
2-hour game.
2-hour game, because now they are averaging about 216, 217 over the cross. But of course, like you said, that's an average. Sometimes they go to 230, 235, whatever, and that's a problem. Okay. And about prolonging careers, we'll see less Bronny. And everything will be everything will be good,
great.
Man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like this. I don't particularly like this change.
Well, the one thing that'll suffer is statistics.
Stats.
Yeah, statistics and records.
Now,
so
you're not a big stats guy.
Yeah, I'm not.
And I am.
Yeah. So
we'll really never see a 100-point game then.
Oh hell no. No.
And and just all-time scoring and all the stats will be impacted. I don't like that.
But it's all. I mean, it's also like I remember when I went to the Daytona 500 a couple years ago. Like the first 10 or 15 laps was kind of cool because it was just the spectacle of the cars, and then you went for about 150 laps of just nothingness. The cars are just circulating around. It's kind of boring. And then in the last 15 or 20 laps, it got really interesting again because now you're going to see guys race for the win. In a basketball game, like, you check a matchup, you watch the first quarter. A lot of times, like the second and third quarters, they just kind of drag on. And are we going to be close enough going into the fourth that this is a competitive game? Or is the margin going to be bad enough that, coaches kind of throw up the white flag and call it a day? But, in a 40-minute game, it kind of compresses all that. And it probably ensures for a high rate of close competitive games in that fourth quarter segment.
Yeah, it'd be 100. So what do you like? If it had to be one or the other, would you be a fan of turning the minutes down on the game, or turning the games down on the season, the amount of games?
Turn the minutes down.
Okay.
Play 82 40-minute games. I'd rather see that. Yeah.
Yeah, you rather see that?
Oh yeah, and it's way more palatable economically. Because you still have the product.
Yeah. It's not going to impact really, financially as far as
as far as that
you
goes.
turn games down now. You gotta redo your TV deals and all of that.
Yeah, and your ticket revenue.
Yeah, and ticket
If
revenue.
you cut it to like 70 games, you have 35 home games instead of 41.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay. Easier, cleaner.
Yeah.
I wanted to have some quick fun here. Okay.
Oh, long overdue for fun.
No, I mean it's not that much fun.
You don't have a crazy story for us?
No.
Damn.
Not today.
You got to get out to living again, man. I think you're fucking nesting.
The summer is coming. Spring and summer is coming, man.
So it's time to get out in the streets again?
Yeah, man.
All right.
It's time, man.
All right.
All right. I wanted to play. Let's play this really quick here, and we'll react to it. It's the NFL and actors. We didn't get to it last week. We'll get to it today.
Oh, yeah, yes.
You know that? Yeah, so Samuel as Lamar. You like that?
Those are masterful.
Ryan Gosling, Jared Goff.
Look, they really, like, it's like a mind fuck to look at those.
Peter as Kyler Murray. That's my favorite one.
That's my least favorite one.
Diddy as Deshaun. That's hilarious. Chris is Josh. And you see he got the young chick.
Yeah.
Adam Devine Baker.
Who's Adam Devine?
I've seen him in a couple of things.
Jason Momoa.
He's
Jay-Z is
too large
Troy
of a man.
Aikman.
What was that? Oh, Lord. Joel Osteen. That's hilarious as well. Jay-Z as Troy Aikman and Matt Damon
as Joe Buck.
Oh, because he has the big face.
Yeah.
That is hilarious. Joel Osteen as Kirk O'Shea.
James.
I don't know. I don't think.
Josh Brolin. He was in. He played Thanos in the Avengers.
Oh yeah.
Nicolas Cage looked terrible.
Oh, Dan Campbell. Yeah. I do like that. I do like that one.
I don't. He's a little too dark and creepy.
Nicolas Cage.
Dan Campbell has like an energy. And Brolin's kind of a brooding sort of guy.
But looks wise, I like it. Now, beyond that, you're right. You are right. Yeah, because I remember Thanos as a character, and Dan is like the opposite.
Yeah.
Now, this one. This is my worst one.
That's horrible.
Is my worst one.
That was horrible.
Yeah. Nicolas Cage is that. They could have did a lot better than that. What about that guy from Family? Is it Family? My wife and no. Damn, it's the big postman dude. He has the wife. It's a TV show.
Kevin James.
Queen. Yeah, Kevin James. God damn.
Yeah.
What's the show called, man?
I don't know.
Queen something.
Anytime you have a woman using a New York accent, I'm out. Just that naggy voice. It's just like, no way.
But Nicolas Cage is Eddie Reed. That's terrible. Yeah, they could have did better. Officer Farber as Aiden Cannon. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Liam Hemsworth as Justin Herbert.
Nick
Cannon as Tyreek Hill. Because they both got a lot of kids.
Yeah, get him.
I see
out
what
of
they're
there.
doing.
Yeah.
Tom Holland is Brock Purdy.
That's actually not too bad.
That's not bad at all.
Zendaya. They made him a chick. I guess that's the joke. Oh, God.
I didn't see this one.
Oh, my God.
That is hilarious.
Terrible. Just slap the mustache off her.
Damn, Tony.
Oh, God.
Julie.
That's awful. That's not good.
That's lazy.
Yeah.
That's lazy. They got to the end and they just didn't have anything to do.
Yeah, with Jada there.
That's hilarious.
I could see her growing a mustache to stick it to Will. Yeah. I could see that for sure.
No, that's hilarious, man.
The first 4 or 5 look so creepy because they did you literally saw
got close.
both guys.
Yeah.
In that shot.
I think they had a couple of good ideas and just was like, okay, let's just slap the rest of this shit on. Yeah. And they put their strongest ones in the beginning.
Yeah.
Because it got much weaker down the line. Even though the Jada is funny at least.
Oh, it's funny for sure.
Yeah. At least it's funny.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Before we get off, we have the Knicks beat the Nuggets, man.
Nuggets have dropped a lot of games.
Yeah. Maybe they're taking it like Boston, where it's like, we'll be there in the playoffs anyhow.
We'll turn up in the playoffs.
Yeah. Once again, Towns. what a great defense. I didn't watch, of course we didn't watch the game,
Yeah.
but from the stat line, I mean, he held Jokic to 17 points, bad shooting, 6 assists, 6 rebounds.
Oh my.
Yeah. Towns, man, he's the Jokic stopper. Shout out to Towns. None of these other the games mean anything. Minnesota is playing in Phoenix tonight. Phoenix is up by a couple now. Second quarter. I like you said, the Booker thing is going to be interesting, man, because Devin Booker, he's like they have this team, but if they disappoint another year or two, they really got to look to just fucking go and like reset the whole thing because Durant is old.
Like you always have this notion of like another year or two. I just have like a lot of impatience about a career. Even like an established guy, it's like why am I, if this is dysfunction, if I'm showing up every day to the facility and this is just dysfunction, like why the hell do I want to be here another game?
Yeah.
Like,
It's not
what
I don't want to say
am I doing?
they just losing a lot. They did have a small dysfunction with the coach. They got rid of the coach, but it's just losing.
When I wasn't talking about necessarily like soap opera type dysfunction.
Oh, okay.
But just if I'm not in a winning situation, if that, if we're just showing up and getting our ass beat on a roster that's just not balanced and can't win, like what am I doing?
Yeah.
Like my prime's not going to last forever.
Yeah.
I've got to get somewhere where I can show out and play.
Mm-hmm. No, 100%.
But yeah, I mean, again, you say another year or two. It's like, what? That's a whole fucking year. That's another like 48 losses on my lifetime record. That's not good.
No, it's not good at all. Not good at all. And apparently Wemby charged at Zubac.
Like fight style.
Yeah, Zubac shoved him, and then he came after him, but he didn't do anything, so he didn't get ejected or anything.
Okay.
Neither guy.
Cooler heads prevailed.
Yeah, they got a tag. Yeah, but that's
why not charge at Zubac?
Yeah, Zubac.
Yeah. What do you call him?
He's a botch.
What do you call him?
No, I don't know. Zubac.
I thought I said that. Then you made it sound like I said something different.
Yeah, like a botch, like a bitch, like Zubit, like but instead of that, Zubac.
I'd be calling him that too.
Zubiach.
I'm coming for you, Zubich. I'm gonna make a Wemby charge at you.
Oh man, James Harden is he's doing his same thing. Regular season, he has those guys in the 6-7 seed right now. Less. The roster is not as good. Kawhi plays here and there, mostly there. And but he's doing his thing, and I'm sure in the playoffs he'll show you why he's James Harden. It's nuts, man.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
He is what he is. The tiger doesn't change its stripes.
No, not at all. But we'll be back next week. We have a group coming in next week.
All right.
Shout out to the Gorilla Boys podcast. They should be in here.
Sounds good.
I got some fun topics for those guys, and we'll laugh a lot.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully we'll make it a
Preview
productive
a fun
show.
topic. What do you got? Give us one.
You give it? Okay. Why? Is this the thing? It doesn't matter now, but why have sex toys for males have not taken off like it has for women?
What sex toy are you talking about?
Any. Like just period. The sex toy market for guys is dry.
Probably should be.
Mm-hmm.
Like what sex toy are you going to use?
They got some interesting ones, man.
What do they got for guys?
One of the ones that if I had money, I would have invested almost every piece of crumb, and I would have lost and been poorer than I am now. Is the pocket coochie. When that first came out, man,
highly disturbing. Though.
I thought that thing. It's a pocket coochie.
You rub one out with it, and you drop a load into it.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
What?
Like, if a chick uses a vibrator or a dildo, goes inside or whatever, gets a little wet, you just rinse it off. Wash it down, you're good to go again. When you drop a load into a toy, like, how are you getting that load out thoroughly?
I mean,
these are real issues. Man.
Guys are guys, man.
Guys are not
they're
guys.
Not trying to get it. Hey, guys don't wash their drawers for 3 days. Why are they not gonna thoroughly wash a damn?
And that's why.
Toy.
That's exactly why. This
okay, but even if it's a one use, Like,
disposable?
listen,
What are you going to charge for that?
I don't know.
Yeah, at some point you just get the prostitute and have some real action.
Yeah, but it's
I mean,
this.
your price point's got to be pretty special.
Yeah, it has to
But
be.
that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're a guy, you probably don't clean stuff like that.
They have
well.
contraptions where it's like jacking you off and poking you in behind. Like, guys are into that thing. Some
Are
of
you
that
one
stuff.
of those guys?
Don't tell you what guys are into.
I
But
think
some
you're
guys,
one of those guys.
I'm not one of those guys.
I didn't know I was doing the show with Dwight Howard. Well, what's going on?
I'm just telling you what I've seen.
You've seen.
Over King.
You've seen.
Over King, I've seen
You've
these
seen a
contraptions,
guy-
man.
You've seen a guy pleasure himself in that manner.
I'm telling you, they have these contraptions. They're making them for a reason. They just these guys, people are just not like, oh, let me just see what crazy shit I can come up with out the top of my head. And I just thought more guys would, I know some guys buy it, but I just thought like it would go crazy. Like there hasn't been a rose craze on the guy side ever in the history of life.
Because we're predators. We want real coochie, and most of us will do kind of whatever it takes to get it. Like women go through different phases. Their frustration in men manifests in different ways. They'll just, stop with guys for a while and pleasure themselves with toys, and they'll be happy like that, like Ebony.
Yeah.
And that's they'll manage themselves that way.
Yeah.
But a guy, you're not gonna like. Again, that predator thing. You like the chase. You like the the whatever the energy that gives you. So you're gonna do that. You're not just gonna say, "Hey, man, I'm not gonna fuck with girls today. I'm just gonna use this pocket pussy and with the little anal attachment and have myself a day." That's just not how men think.
Okay.
Because when you go through the world, like you're sitting there, like it's like whatever. You go to the gym, you go to the office, where you go whatever. You go to get food somewhere, like you are scanning. You're seeing a woman, like oh wow, look at that, like, and that we're so preoccupied with that chase and getting what we want that you just like toys are just not on the forefront of it.
What about not in the absence of women? Because
Like,
a lot of
like
women,
women.
you use toys with women, and that's like a common occurrence now. So what about the reverse?
What toy is going to work for you? Like what if you're with a woman? What toy is going to make that a better experience for you?
I don't know, but
Like you can rail a girl and use the rose on her coochie.
Oh, no,
But that
yeah.
like that all makes sense.
Oh,
Like, so
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
toy
I see what you're saying.
is going to make the experience better for you?
Yeah.
It's a question for you to answer. But I think that's kind of what we're. I just don't think
There's a lot of women who don't like to give head, and they have toys.
It's very
for that.
disappointing. But I mean, that's not like. I mean, I can't.
Yeah. I understand. I understand.
So, is there two separate toys? Is there a pocket coochie and then a pocket oral simulator?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. There's like the oral simulator is looks like a actual woman's head or whatever almost.
See,
Not
that's just highly disturbing. That's highly disturbing.
You know what I'm talking about, the fake doll.
No, but that's disturbing to me. I'm telling you, like
her
that's
mouth
just
is
not,
just open. And,
yeah, that's just not like. I don't know. Yeah.
I mean,
because
I thought there was a ton of guys living in their mother's basement still. Like, what are these guys doing?
Yeah, it's porn and crank one. No, but like that thing, like part of one of the things that I enjoy about sex is like what the other person is doing, like how you're making them feel, how they're making you feel, the effort they're putting into making you feel the way you want to feel. You don't get that from some fucking dummy head with an open mouth.
You get to get off.
I can crank one out anytime I need to. I mean, I don't want to like spend extra money to do that. I mean, really.
What about people that say, well, it's safer?
Safer than cranking one out?
No, I'm talking about
than actual sex.
Than like getting a hooker or actual sex. But
yeah, I mean, what is life without risk?
I don't think guys care about that.
Yeah, they don't.
I know.
That's
why I brought it up last.
What is life without risk? I mean, you're an AIDS denier. I mean, what are we talking about? So I knew you're going to get the right sex toy and become paranoid about AIDS? Jesus. I think you're being hypocritical with this movement for the men's sex toys.
I don't know, man. Just trying to help those guys out that are in the male sex toy manufacturing business. I'm sure they're wondering, like, hey, what's going on here,
business,
man?
It's like, it's like being in the rotary phone business. Jesus Christ!
Time to move on to something different.
Yeah, I mean, like, get ready to be in the DVD business. What's going on? Go the way of Blockbuster, man.
Yeah,
shut it down. That's crazy. No sympathy for those guys.
We'll catch you guys next week.
Like the WNBA, it's a niche market with a low ceiling.
From the Sunshine State, the great state of Florida, and what does your Uncle Charlotte always say? The craziest people in America come from the Bronx and all of Florida. Bitch, I'm Big Bubba crossing my black car. It's booby traps and pit bulls crossing my backyard. I'm still strapped, boy, these handguns on Vanguard. I like going against the grain cause my head hard. Bae, I used to thug hard to see this crack hard. I don't thug nothing but the motherfucking task force. Me and 2 Root running shit, we like the fat boys. Paid cash for it, so I drive this bitch and fast forward. I put it all in your face like you asked for. Most of you niggas love frontin' like the dashboard. I get a nigga chalked out like the blackboard. I got the ghetto off glass like the backboard. Most of my niggas ride till it ain't no gas for. Nigga, we been outside like ain't no map for. Been outside like ain't no map for.
I swear to God, these motherfucking jets in Florida is different. Man, I was at this bitch house the other night. Gave her little goddamn son 1 melatonin, thinking this little motherfucker gonna go to sleep. Hell nah, the little motherfucker ain't go to sleep. I ended up giving this little bitch the whole goddamn bottle. He ate them all. It was up all motherfucking night.
I'm in all white ones. Picture could get me a Cy Young. We feel like nuns, no fucks given like Spice One. We feel like bums. Shit don't change, then I might run. Feel like bun. Shit sit when the price jump. I got white bumps. These bags kill it price plump. You only die once. I know you a snake with a sliced tongue. I can't trust you, I'ma dust you. Ain't no checking temperature. It's fuck you, then it's fuck you. These laws